Hello, gay men. Welcome to Coming Inside Out. I'm John.
I'm Brian.
Brian, you're looking good.
You too. Do you have new glasses, John?
Oh, I do. I have new readers.
I love those glasses. They look good on you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I got like 5 pair.
Okay.
Of course, Amazon, you order them up. And I just got a variety because I normally buy these other ones that are, like herringbone type or whatever, that are like $40.
Yeah.
Then these were like, you get 5 for $15. I'm just,
Well, they look good, John.
well, thank you. I appreciate
Very
that.
nice.
So, everyone, welcome to the podcast. And what I'd like to talk about is your adventure this past weekend. You went to the Gay Fathers Worldwide event in Michigan?
Retreat in Saugatuck, Michigan. Yes, I did.
Well, I am sure you have a lot to talk about.
Well, I think some people that went have more to talk about than I do. Or more interesting stories.
Yeah.
I was there for the retreat.
Mm-hmm.
I was there for the camaraderie. There was some nice eye candy there.
Right. Okay.
I got to meet a lot of guys that I've been chatting with, texting with, instant messaging with.
From the podcast here.
Yeah. Well, no, just off of Gay Fathers Worldwide and some from the podcast, yes. And, before I go too much further, I will tell you, you and I received a lot of love from several of the people there. I don't expect that when I walk into a gathering of gay men, for people to bring up our podcast, reference our podcast, and I'm surprised when people do.
Well, wait a minute. How does that make you feel? Because this has to be something new for you.
It is. It tears me up because I thought you and I were going to get on here and joke around and have a good time, and
which we do,
and get people that tune in and laugh and whatever. But to see the impact that we've had on people, the fact that people are coming out, or the people that thought they were alone, or some of the people that write into us. Not everybody that writes into us wants us to share, online what they're writing about, or on our podcast what they're writing about, but just, I didn't know we were going to have an impact. I thought we were going to be a comedy podcast where we have such an impact.
Wait, you did? Wait, I got to call you out on that. That's bullshit.
Is it?
That is total bullshit.
Why?
Because I remember when we were talking about this, because we at the Gay Fathers of LA, we were all at dinner and we were just yakking around, and I made a comment that said, hey, you know what? We should have a podcast about this just to talk about our ideas. And just so if you're just tuning in, Brian came to me 2 weeks after that, or 3 weeks after that. And no, and I'm going to call you out on this. I'm going to tell you why. You had a calling. You wanted to help people. You really did. Yes. And you came to me and you said, hey, John, the idea you threw out, why don't we do that? Why don't we try to help people who were in our situations? And you go, I just want to help people. I just want to help. You got a big heart. And I'm the one that wanted it to be comedy, but I know you came from the heart. And I know I cut you off, and yeah, we want to make it light, and we do make it light. But at the end of the day, I think we had a calling here.
I do too. I think when I say comedy, I deflect a lot with humor. Right. Because I have a lot of pain.
Sure.
So I think in the very beginning, our banter back and forth had a little bit more comic flair to it, even though we had some seriousness involved also. We poke at each other a bit.
Sure.
But I wasn't expecting the heartfeltness that comes from these people walking up to me.
What do you mean, these people?
These people.
Are you the gays?
These homos walking up to me in a completely different state. Oh my
it feels good, doesn't it? Isn't that nice?
You and John, and just say the nicest things to us.
I love that.
It's not hard for me to receive, but when it's spoken to me, it just kind of like, I don't know.
Listen, I think it is deep, and I love that. And how many men were at this event?
So there were 5 houses. There were supposed to be 8 people per house. Not everybody had 8 people in the houses. Then some guys stayed off site at hotels. I'm going to say there was over 40 people, but under 50 people.
Okay.
And from all over Canada, people were there from California, New York, Florida. I mean, they were from all over the place.
I love it. I love it. And so, what did you do? What did you do daily? I mean, who led this, and what was the point of it?
Okay.
And what did you get out of it?
The point of it, I think, was just to bond with all these other gay fathers. I got there a day early Thursday. I traveled with a couple of our friends from Gay Fathers of Los Angeles. We got there a day early. Met up with there was a total of 8 of us. We met for dinner, had drinks, and we went to, Saugatuck is a gay friendly little town right off of Lake Michigan. And they have a place called the Dunes, which is a gay resort. Okay. So it's a hotel, it's a pool, it's a bar, it's a nightclub. They do a drag show. It's a whole thing there. So Thursday night we went there and had a good time. And, I don't drink a ton, but I was drinking from the flight to the dinner to getting there. And they have a clothing store inside of there that's attached to the bar. Yeah. And after midnight and probably 6 drinks.
Why don't you stand up and show them? You should see these shorts. These are some nice booty shorts. I call them booty shorts. They look great though.
Well, thank
you. They look really good, and I love the design.
All right. The funny thing is that they don't have a changing room, so you have to go to the bathroom to change. And I didn't want to go to the bathroom and change, so I changed in the little store. I just took my pants, my shorts off. I put these on. I walk out to show them to somebody, and somebody walks up to me. He's like, "You look so good in those shorts. You got to buy these shorts." And I said,
"Was that the salesman?"
That's what I said. Do you work here? Do you work here? It's like, no. I was like, oh, look at it. I've had this on for 30 seconds. I'm already getting compliments. So I bought 2 pairs of them. So Thursday night, we hung out at the club, get back to the hotel. I didn't go to bed until probably after 2 that night. Woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Went for a long walk. Then we all met as a group at this really nice outdoor bar restaurant. Probably 30 guys showed up there. Introductions and the whole thing. It was really nice to meet these people. And from there, we went to the house. Everybody got to check into their houses. You were assigned a house dad or house mom, whatever you want to call it. And from there, we kind of just were in our house group that night. Okay. We all shared. We are as unique. Our stories are as unique as we are. We're all out. We're all gay. We all have kids. But dang, everybody's story has a different twist to it that you just don't see coming.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was nice. So we did that. And then, of course, after that, we went to dinner. And then we all met at the Dunes and hung out there. The cool thing is I wrote down they had a car show. And it's a gay car club. So they had 50-year-old Rolls Royces, 1960s Cadillacs, Corvettes, Jaguars, Porsches. So that a gay car club event the same weekend we were there. Wow. So that was really...
No way, really?
Yeah, the same weekend. So, and these guys, these gay car collectors, they're kind of little men.
The mechanic. Yeah.
So that was nice.
Well, I'd like to hear their story.
Well,
I bet they have some stories.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, we heard a couple of them. We talked to a couple of the guys. Actually, there was a gay couple there that has a place in Palm Springs also. Very attractive couple. And so we did this whole thing on Saturday where we just hung out, did some shopping, walked around, had food. And then we ended up at the car show. And from the car show, the resort pool doors were open. And the car show ended at 3. And we were
3 in the
afternoon. 3 in the afternoon. And I was there with about 5-6 guys, and we just walked into the pool. Well, my big thing for this weekend is I love to wear a Speedo, but I wear a Speedo in private. I don't wear a Speedo in public.
Right.
I bought a Speedo. I bought a couple Speedos. I bought several Speedos. Mm-hmm. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to wear my Speedo in public. That's going to be my
So this was going to be your coming out.
Yes.
You're coming out with your Speedo.
So I had my Speedo on at this resort gay pool. We're drinking cocktails, hanging out. And there's like 100 and some odd guys just all hanging around the pool. That was really cool. So that was nice.
I thought it was liberating. Was it liberating for you?
Yes.
Did you feel like Patrick Duffy in Dallas when
no,
you?
I wish. I don't have his body, but yeah, you know, I listen.
That would have been something if he would have shown up.
I wore it.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
So every night we went to bed at like, other than Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, I went to bed at like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my God.
And then we're up at 8:30.
Wow.
So I got no sleep on this trip.
Any potential suitors?
I hope this person isn't a listener of our podcast. So our house was supposed to have 8 guys in it, and it ended up only having 6. One of the people had a room to himself, which was a double. It was for couples, but he had it to himself. And then I was in a room that had bunk beds in it, and one of the people didn't show up.
Okay.
So one of the people I met at lunch on Friday, I had been chatting with. He lives in New York. Mm-hmm. Super nice guy. When I met him, this is no slight on him, but he didn't look like his pictures. He looked like 100 times better than his pictures, which is exactly opposite.
Yeah.
So he took me by surprise when I met him. I was like, oh, wow, this is you. Wow, you know, and I didn't try to make a big deal of it, but I walked away and I was like, wow, that's one handsome guy. He was my roomie.
Okay.
So we were very respectful of one another. And he lives in New York, but super nice guy.
You made a friend.
Yeah.
You made a lot of friends.
I made a bunch of friends this weekend.
I like your story that you were sharing with me before we got on here about in the lounge at the airport.
Oh, yes.
That you met these 2 ladies, these 2 lesbian ladies, and, you know, they connected you with somebody that would be great for our podcast.
Yeah.
Too. It's just, you know, isn't it amazing once you start talking about it? And it's really interesting. I'm crazy busy with my whole life, with work, with the kids, and just doing that. And I haven't talked much about the podcast.
All right.
And I start talking about it, and people are like, "What? What are you doing?" I mean, they're so excited about it. And so it just, it just, you know, hit me. I was talking to a friend. She goes, "Oh my God, I'm going to listen to every one of them." Yeah. You know, and
I have that too, and then I cringe when I think that I have straight friends that are listening to the podcast.
Well, and that's why I think that we resonate not just with the gay community, but also with the straight community, because they have a loved one that is fighting this. And I say fighting to come out, you know, and you know, we had our Gay Fathers LA meeting 2 weeks ago.
Let's talk about that. That's what
I'm bringing up.
Of men. Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah, you know, we had and we have new members that showed up.
Yes,
and it had been probably 2 months since we had. I mean, we've done stuff, but to really have an organized meeting.
Yes.
It had been a while, and so thank you, Bob, for organizing. Bob, you're the best. I mean, he's such the best. Bob just is the organizer, and he puts a lot of work into it. Yeah. So shout out to Bob for that.
Shout out to Bob. And there's gay father groups all over the place.
Yes,
Los Angeles,
yes.
Palm Springs, Texas. New York.
And if you know of any, write into us and let us know.
And we'll promote it.
We'll promote it and put the word out. But it was so nice. And you were there, I was there, and it was so nice to see new members that came. And I tell you, you know, it doesn't get old hat. This does not get old hat, because listening to other people's stories, you just kind of remember your own when you were coming out, your struggles and everything. And I think it just re-energizes me for some reason. It just does. And like one of the guys, and I won't say his name, he, you know, had an issue. He goes, you know, I'm going to a wedding, and a lot of people know that I've come out. My ex-wife does, you know, of course my kids do. And But my sister,
Oh, yeah.
my sister does not know. And should I? And so he poses the question. He goes, should I tell her before I go, or should I tell her at the wedding? I'm up in the air. And he goes, and what was great about it is all of us just started popping off questions. It was well, what's your relationship like with your sister? Are you close? Are you not? Because that's really important.
It is. And you don't want to get to the wedding and make that the topic.
You don't.
You want to.
You don't want to take away whoever event it is that you're coming out. And shout out to my lovely friend Betty. Betty was getting married, and all of us actors from 25 years ago, went to her wedding, and we're at the reception party, and there's a whole table of like 30 of us who all used to be in acting class, and Betty comes up to me. She goes, "Did you tell him?" I said, "What do you mean? Did I tell him?" And she like leaned in. She goes, "Did you tell him you came out?" I go, "Betty, I'm not gonna tell people that. This is your wedding." She goes, "Fuck it, tell them." And so she goes, and she loved it. And I told them, and they all just poured so much love to me. "We love you. That's awesome. It's great." And Betty was great. So um, that we were, our friend, we didn't want him to pull away from that event of like, this is me coming out to my sister. And so he was respectful of that. And, we kind of went back and forth but I just love that we have all the advice there from other gay dads that have been through that and gives the advice. And, I'm humbled and happy to be part of it. I really am.
That's kind of what this weekend, a lot of guys brought up issues that they're struggling with or they're, kind of unclear on. And it's nice to bounce it off of other men that either have been in your shoes, going through something very similar. And, the whole airplane ride thing, meeting these two women, they're a married couple in Denver.
Did they have a Subaru?
No, that's so funny. I asked them the same.
Did you really?
This is kind of funny. I'm going to bring this up.
That was a cheap, stupid joke. I'm better than that.
It's true. But I'm going to bring this up because I sat next to them on the plane and I was saying to them, hey, listen, we have Grindr, we have Scruff, we have Sniffies, we have all these apps. What are the lesbian apps?
Oh.
And they were like, oh, no, we don't have a Grindr and a Sniffies for the lesbians. The lesbians have relationship apps. They don't have hookup apps. So they have their own set of apps, which I've never, kind of looked into. But
do you have
they don't
names?
Have Grindr and Sniffies? No. Oh, you know what? I'll the next episode, I'll research those and look up something.
But you know what? You just hit on something big. Because it's interesting that, traditionally males, we just like to get off. We want hookups. Yeah. We want to get off, hook up, move on. We want a variety. I say we.
You want to blow your load and go.
And go. And not all of you, though. Not a lot of you. And not you.
I found out it's something called demisexual. Is that what it's called?
Demisexual?
Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I may have to research that, but several people told me that that's why I enjoy an emotional connection with somebody before I enjoy a sexual encounter with somebody.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
No. But I think it's called demisexual.
But I think traditionally women want the relationship. They want to have that before they give up anything. And some don't, some.
Yeah, that's where they get the toe hitch on the Subaru. Right?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right.
We drive around on our sports cars.
Not me. I drive around my truck. I'm a lesbian. I'm a big old lesbian. I have to say, my soon-to-be ex and the boys, we all 2 years ago took a trip together to the Grand Canyon for the boys' spring break, and of course, we get two separate, hotel rooms, and one of the boys stay with, but she has a Subaru.
You're right.
Jill does.
Oh, you're okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we got the Accent Subaru. It's the bigger one, the 7-seater. And so I'm driving and I have my, like, my camouflage hat on, and I'm just driving, and I have my flannel shirt on. And like we're all driving, and we're pulling up into the town, and kind of some people are looking at us, and I go, "Hey guys, I'm the baddest fucking lesbian around."
Men aren't looking at you driving by. All the women are too.
They're like,
yeah.
She's hot. Look at her beard. God damn, that's a hot lesbian. I'm like, you're right, bitch. I am a hot lesbian in my white Subaru. And of course the boys and everybody starts laughing. It was a good family moment, because we all have different styles of family.
Yes.
That was during a good time, and sometimes there's bad times, and you don't go on vacation. Or like what we do, will, if it's a week, maybe I'll go for 3 or 4 days at that hotel, and then I leave, and she comes in and stays the remainder.
That's what we do.
Is that what you do?
That's what we do.
Yeah, I mean, there's some really creative ways to do that, and if because I want to have the experience with the boys at a certain place, and so does she, and so why not split the time?
Yes, I agree,
and they're good with that. So this seems like okay, go.
So these, I'm not going to call them lesbians. These two very nice women.
Yeah.
At the Denver airport, we chat. They saved me an aisle seat on the plane because their number was before mine. We flew Southwest. No plug for Southwest. And I sat next to them. I asked them a whole bunch of questions because I wanted, just to find out some information. They knew a gay father from Boston who had children, divorced, remarried a man, and is out.
Well, he was married to a woman.
He was
then
married to a woman.
And then remarried.
Now he's married to a man.
Got it.
He's published 3 books. He's an author, a psychiatrist, a therapist, a speaker, and a trauma specialist.
Wow.
And they hooked me up with him on Monday after, I flew home Sunday, and we exchanged some text messages. So he would like to be on our show. I think that's amazing.
I think that's great.
I think there's so much trauma that goes on. And
what's his books? What are his books
his
about?
His books are To Be Loved, Transcending Trauma, and Internal Family Systems. I haven't read any of the prefaces on these books, but I did look him up. I did see that he had the 3 books, and yeah, he said he'll be on our show.
I love it. I love that. That's awesome. Well, he's been through it, and he wrote about it.
Yes. Well, and I don't know if his books are about his coming out or as a therapist.
It's on the therapist side of it. Yeah.
Because we all have trauma.
We all have trauma, and transcending trauma. Yeah. Working how to manage the trauma. I think that's great. I can't wait for him to be on.
I know. So I'm going to put that together, and that'll be coming on in the next couple of weeks. But, just for all of our listeners, again, I heard it time and time again on this retreat. I thought I was all alone. I thought it was just me. I didn't know this community existed. One of the really cool things was this retreat was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. On Monday, Gay Fathers Worldwide, which is a private Facebook group, reached 1,000 members. And so there's all this celebration going on.
Oh, you're kidding! I was just going to ask you, how haven't you even joined that yet? Look, I should join. Where's my phone? I got to get my phone.
You got to join.
I got to join. I haven't even joined. See, I told you I was busy.
Yes. And if you go on that site, this is a plug for that site, there's probably 30 people that posted about the retreat. There's a dozen people that posted how the retreat has changed their lives. There's people that posted, their call to action since being on the retreat. So, you got out of it what you wanted to get out of it.
It's good.
And I easily connect with people, emotionally. I can have a deep conversation with somebody pretty quickly.
Right.
I struggle with the sexual part of it. There's people that meet, they have the attraction with the eyes, and the next thing you know, they're making out in the corner, and then they're back at the house, and yada, yada, yada. I don't know how to take having a connection with somebody an emotional connection with somebody and making it turn into something else.
Well, then, okay.
Two people said to me, I didn't want to be disrespectful and cross your boundaries. So maybe I put up a wall or something. I don't know.
Well, it's not maybe but you're putting up your boundaries. You have we all have boundaries. Some of us have no boundaries. You know, I mean, they just don't. But that's nice that they're gonna, respect. But you put it out there. Well, I'm not saying you, but one puts it out there. One knows what, how far they can go. And
well, I think I'm going to put it out there with my.
You've already put it out there.
I'm going to put it out there with my.
All right, will you stand up and show? Stand up. I want you guys to see this. All right, come on. If you're driving in your car, pull over. Look at those. All right, turn around.
And they're stretchy.
They're stretchy.
And they're short. They're very short.
They have pockets.
They have pockets.
Well, I like that. Those are nice.
They're by Steel. ST33LE.
Steel.
But the E's are threes.
And where's it was a shop?
There's a shop at the Dunes. So these shorts were $100. They were $95.
Oh my God.
I got 2 pairs. I came home. I went on the website. Don't pay $100 for these shorts, people.
How much?
You can get these shorts for like $70, and then they have a clearance.
Oh.
And the clearance ones were, I think, $45. So I bought 3 more pairs online.
Well, but you got your compliments.
Yes.
But see, you put it out there. You put that. That's a way of you putting it out there. Wearing
Speedo on my shorts.
Yeah, your Speedo on your shorts, and I think it'll happen for you when it happens,
and it's supposed to.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah. So, what happened to you this week? Anything good?
Let's see. Anything good this week? Went to the Taste of Larchmont here in LA.
I saw you post that.
Did you see that? Isn't that cute?
I did. This community is like a gayborhood.
It is a gayborhood. It's a gayborhood.
It doesn't get the recognition as a gayborhood, but I got here 20 minutes early so I could wear my shorts up and down the street.
Well, good. Thank you for adding to that. You're welcome. I have to say, and there's a business down the street that has the gay flag. I'm like, I need to put the gay flag up. I need to put the U.S. flag up and the gay flag. But it was HopeNet, and our community every year, all the restaurants down on Larchmont will go ahead and offer up food. And then what you do is you pay $50 per person. And then you go to like 25, 30 places of like ice cream shops, restaurants, different types of restaurants, donut places, all of these different types of food, mostly restaurants.
And you had your kids with you.
I had my boys with me, and we do that every year. We didn't do it last year, but we did do it again this year. We've done it a couple of years prior to that. And I tell you what, it is so nice. And again, if you're listening to this and you're questioning about your community and you're coming out, it's really starting to get comfortable for me when I see people. It's not that I'm like waving the flag, but there's people know that I'm gay and I'm out in the community with my boys, and it's so nice because a lot of people are like, oh my God, John, they're getting so big and they're so handsome and they're so nice, and it's just a nice community. But I do want to plug into something here because we're all members of organizations and I'm part of the Rotary, the Wilshire Rotary. And Rotary is an international club that is known for eradicating polio throughout the United States, but it's also about building water wells in different countries. And there's Rotaries International. It's all over the world. And we have a district here. But, I came out to a couple of my Rotarians and recently. Yeah, and It's just love. It's just so much love. They're like, oh my God, okay, are you okay? How's the family? Oh God, And that was actually I came out to when we were in Oaxaca, Mexico. We were putting up solar panels for people that lived in this village, and they had no electricity. So we brought in 80 poles with the solar, and it had like a transformer, kind of like what you have here. And so we had 4 lights. You could plug the lights in. We lit it up. We lit their house up for them, and they could charge their cell phones because they would have to go down to a part of the village to do that. So anyway, Rotary is an amazing organization, but my point is that was one of my fears of when I was coming out. I'm like, God, should I quit Rotary? And should I quit this, quit that? I did it. And I'm glad I did it, because everyone that has found out has just sent me love, and my boys love, and I'm going to get emotional, because it's just, it is just, if you're listening and you're thinking of all the things that you're doing and that maybe you shouldn't do or you should quit, I say don't do it. I say just get through this, because you will get through it. And boy, on the other side, there's so much love.
I agree.
Yeah.
John, there were so many people on this retreat that talked about they don't know the next step.
Oh, interesting.
Who are they going to come out to? How are they going to come out to these people? When are they going to come out to these people? And again, for you and I, we have received so much love from the people that we fear coming out to.
Yeah.
Now, I have a very religious family that is a client of mine. I would not come out to them because I think that I would lose them as a client because they're extremely religious. But for the most part, I think I'm out to all of my clients that when just in communication with them, and, you know, maybe I'll wear a bracelet that has a rainbow on it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to show up in a can't think straight anymore, rainbow shirt or whatever like that. But I think just in my interaction with my clients, and maybe that for you also, you're just more comfortable in your own skin. And so when you do come out to these people, they know you as the wonderful human father, business owner in the community. Yeah. And maybe it's more accepting that way. I don't know. If you were an asshole, they probably wouldn't view you the same way if you came out as gay, right? They may have other things to say about you if you're an asshole.
Right. It's true. It's true. I mean, an asshole knows no boundaries, because an asshole can be gay, an asshole can be straight, lesbian, LGBTQ. There's an A with an asshole on the end of it. LGBTQ plus A.
There is an A, actually, and it doesn't stand for asshole.
What is it?
I don't know, but there is.
Really?
I believe so. We can look that up, but I believe there is an A on the end of that. It's a Q plus A now.
Oh, all right. We're just taking over that alphabet.
I know.
We're going to take that alphabet.
It should just be LGBT. Because isn't lesbian, gay,
bi, trans, queer
encompasses every one of those.
You know, queer was a big word in the 70s that I would hear a lot. The queers lived down the street, you know, the queers.
Yeah.
But, you know, queer, look it up in the dictionary. Doesn't it mean odd?
Yes, it does. Well, so does, what is the other one? I forget. But yes, everything had a different meaning in the 60s and 70s than it does today.
Well, I'm a bit...
to be gay was to be happy.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Now if you're happy, you're a homo.
Or let's break it down. You're a mo.
You're a mo.
You're a mo.
Isn't a woman a mo?
I've heard guys go, "Oh, you're such a mo." As a homo.
Oh, okay. I thought that meant you like to...
Oh, as in... Something. Well, that's mo, M-O-W, right? Well, now?
No.
Munch? No, that's munch.
Muncher.
All right. We leave them? Are you guys tired of us? We're going to get out of here. Let's get out of here. They've had enough of us, right?
Thank you guys so much for joining us today.
Thank you, and please continue to write on in and any questions, right?
Yes.
We promote that.
Yes. Oh, because we're going to have this trauma person on in the coming month. Write in about that and let us know if you have something you would like to talk about. I mean, people have talked about trauma with their religion, and we're going to talk about this in the next episode.
But you don't want to tell about this now?
We'll talk about that in the next episode.
Okay.
All right. Thank you guys for joining.
Bye.